What's up, everyone, and welcome back to Project XTalk and Xbox Podcast, episode number 95, presented by Save the Game Media. I'm your host, Kevin, aka the Muffin Mon, and today I am joined by my usual co-host these days, Mr. Physical Copy himself. Ethan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. 95. We're 5 away, Kevin, from 100.
95. I was going to bring that up.
We got to start really brainstorming here on what we're going to do for episode 100. It's got to be a big one.
Yeah, episode 50, we had that Jeopardy special with tons of other guests. Yeah, it was a fun time. It was before you joined, I believe.
Yeah, it's the first video I watched of you guys after I decided to join the podcast. I'm like, oh yeah, these guys are going to be good. This is going to be fun.
We got a few weeks, all right? We got about a month or so to figure out what we're going to do to celebrate episode 100. But if you like the podcast, make sure to hit the subscribe button on the channel as we approach 500 subscribers here on YouTube. If you're over on one of our audio feeds, please leave us a 5-star review. If you like the podcast, we are live every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern time right here on YouTube. If you can't catch us live, we post every Friday morning over on those podcast services that I was just mentioning. If you do leave us a 5-star review when you're over there on Apple, because that's really the only place you can do it, we're gonna read it live on the show. And if you want to interact with us more, please come join the Discord. That's almost all the housekeeping, but time to plug the Patreon, because if you want to support us more, and we really do appreciate everyone that does, you can get early access to all of Save the Game Media's content. You can get some special perks like being able to participate in topic threads for I Hate My Friends, game suggestion threads for Make Me Suffer tier. You can get so much. You can get all of our podcasts early. That means no limits, frame by frame. I Hate My Friends. Go on over to patreon.com/Save the Game Media. Choose the tier that's right for you, just like our current patrons have done. So thank you, Bucky Blue, Hopple, Alpaca Tom, and our newest patron, which at this point, I should really take that off the document. He's been here a few weeks. SAZ, thank you all so much. We appreciate every single one of you. All right, guys, it's 1,000 degrees. I'm already sweating after doing the housekeeping. So
getting shiny, Kevin.
Getting shiny. Oh, I haven't even turned on my ring light. Yeah. What am I doing now? I look so
like
much
a shiny
better.
Pokemon. I love
so
it.
Much. Yeah. Oh, you hear that little spark? Ding. Ethan's gonna be chucking balls at me.
Hell yeah.
Ethan, let's start as we do every single week by going around the room and asking one simple question. And that question is, what you playing?
Oh, we always talk about gaming blind spots and how all of us have those big series that we never really got into and that we're kind of, secretly ashamed that we never played because they're so loved in the community. And so I decided to delve into 2 different series this last week. One of them being Metal Gear Solid. So I started playing Metal Gear Solid 5. It was like $7 on the Microsoft Store. I probably played about 20 hours of it, got to like mission 13, did maybe 30 side ops. I know out of like 150, there's a lot of them. And I really enjoyed it. The gameplay is really fun. The stealth is really fun. But the only issue for me is that I've never played any of the other Metal Gear Solids, and the story is lost to me. So I put that on pause. I think once I get the PlayStation and I get back into that community, I am going to eventually play Metal Gear Solid 1 through 4 and get caught up and then get 5. So I put that on pause, but for what it was a really, really fun game. And I'm excited to get into the series as a whole, but just, I had no idea what was going on. I had no attachment to these characters that they had. And it wasn't, clicking for me that I think like longtime fans of the series it clicked for. So
do you think that because they're going to relist the older ones, are you going to pick up the older ones, give those a go, and then maybe try to come back to number 5?
I don't know if they have Metal Gear Solid 1 for Xbox. I want to say that's still locked to PlayStation. I'm not entirely sure. I haven't looked it up, but I think 2, 3, and 4 should be available for Xbox, correct? So if I look it up and 1 is available and they relist 2 and 3, then absolutely I'll probably just play them on Xbox so I can get into that before. But yeah, and then the second series, which this has always baffled me that I never played this, it's BioShock. Never in my life have I played BioShock. I picked up the remastered. Again, it was on sale Microsoft Store. I said, you know what? I got to do it. It was like $6. I don't know if the sales are still going on. If anybody wants the BioShock remastered, it was like $6 in the store yesterday. Wow. I have completely fallen in love with this game. It is absolutely incredible. I haven't had a game capture me like this in a very long time, and it's surprising that it's an older game. I know it's a remastered game, but I'm surprised I'm going back in time over a decade to get a
Mhm.
game like this that's capturing me. I think the way they use shadows and noises really builds incredible tension to the game. I love the gameplay loop of always managing where the big daddies are, and if you want to actually interact with them or just leave them alone and stuff like that. I love all the enemy types. I love the exploration aspect of all the levels. I can't wait to go back and find all the audio logs and find all the secrets hidden in these levels and to go on guides and stuff. I mean, there's so much content to consume with this game. I think I'm 15 hours in, and it feels like I've barely scratched the surface. I also love the
Mm.
art style of it. It reminds me of like a Fallout-esque type of game with the aesthetic of like an Outer
Mhm.
Worlds, maybe that Art Deco style of graphic. It's just absolutely beautiful and stunning game. I'm so excited to play it after this podcast. I've been binging it.
Right after, not even
Yeah, right
we're
after.
gonna end the show and he's already on it, controller in hand.
Yep.
I haven't played BioShock either. I know Shock Face Pikachu's in the chat. But no, it's a game. My brother owns all of them, so I have had access to them for years. I own all of them on my PC because I got them through Epic. It's not an access issue for
Wow.
me. It's literally just like I just don't really care all that much about BioShock from what
Yeah.
I've seen. Like they don't look appealing to me as like my type of game. So
Mm. It
maybe one
really
day.
it holds up in 2022, I think. I am playing the remastered version, so that probably helps a little bit. I haven't played the original version, but it feels like it holds up. There's so many cool gameplay mechanics that you can take advantage of. There's like 53 different upgrades that you can find throughout the maps and stuff, and you have to manage those, in these slots and everything to make the game easier for you. But I'm excited. I want to do like a hard run on this. There's a run called Brass Balls Run where you turn off the machines that bring you back to life, and it's basically a no death run on hard. I think I can do it. I've discovered some different tactics to easily take down big daddies and get through levels very quickly. So I think I'm going to give it a shot once I get a New Game Plus. So I'm pretty excited for that.
That's awesome. Yeah. Definitely keep us up to. I assume you're gonna go through the trilogy
Yeah, I'm planning on it.
eventually.
I very rarely play the same series in a row. But
Really?
so for now, BioShock, this is incredible, and from what I hear, the second one is just as good. It also has a remastered edition. I don't know if it's on sale or not. If it is, I don't care if it is. I'll buy it anyways. It's that good, but I'm excited.
I think they remastered all of them.
Did
The
they
older ones.
remaster Infinite?
I don't know if that one needed a remaster.
That was like
I'm
what,
not sure.
2014,
I don't
something
know.
like
I
that.
don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
Amon says, "Let's go BioShock" in the chat, and Court Lalonde's here. Says Kevin.
Hello.
What up, Court? How you doing, buddy? I'll be stopping by PlayStation Drive later tonight. We have an agreement. All right. I'll be over there. Okay. Not as a ho, just in the chat. All
Oh, I
right.
was gonna say, Kevin, you've
No,
been
no,
busy going to
no, no,
different
no.
shows.
No. Unless they want me to, I'll have to gladly come on the PlayStation. But like, no, I'll just come in the chat, hang out. Court, he does confirm they remastered all of them.
Okay. All
So
right.
you're in
Good
for a
to
good
know.
time.
Yeah.
I have also been playing a little trip to the past, Ethan. Okay.
Uh-oh.
So I've been playing more Puppeteer, which is the PS3 game that I'm
Yeah.
playing on my PS5. And I actually it's a very difficult actually. Like it's getting more difficult the more I play it, but it is very charming. You keep getting like more upgrades. Like now I can throw bombs. I can have a grappling hook. It's an incredibly charming game, and I still love the way it's like the story is told, the art direction. I'm really enjoying it. Makes
Mhm.
me sad that like Sony Japan, the studio that made this, is never gonna make another game because they've kind of been folded in with Asobi, and it's
Yeah.
a whole thing. But I know really, really enjoying it. I'm about halfway through because my goal was to finish it, but this week I got a little sidetracked with an Xbox 360 game called Dante's
Oh yeah. Yep.
Inferno. All right. You ever played Dante's Inferno?
I played it a little bit at a buddy's house once. But it came out when I was still young enough to where my mother wouldn't let me get games that looked overtly crazy
Mm.
violent like that. So I just never played it. But that's another blind spot that I want to hit.
It's on Game Pass.
Mhm.
If you ever want to throw it, it took me 4.5 hours to beat it, so not a long game at all.
Really?
You can go through this very quickly. It's a pretty quick playthrough. It's Kyle says I played it over a decade ago. Yeah, well, I didn't. Okay, so this game, I have a Game Pass and review coming out for it tomorrow or this weekend. I forget when I scheduled it for, but it'll be out. You can get my full thoughts. I actually really enjoyed it though. It's definitely like God of War esque, like the old God of War. It's not the new 2018 God of War. It's very much like hack and slash, over the top combos, a lot of nudity, a lot of violence, gore.
That's probably why my mom didn't
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it.
yeah. Very graphic imagery you got here. But I think it deals with very like you're a crusader during like
Mhm.
the third crusade, I think, and you get sent to hell after you committed all these sins, and like you're trying to rescue your loved one. It has a lot of themes about like dealing with like trying to improve after you've made mistakes and stuff like that. I thought the story was actually way more mature than like I expected, like actually better. So I am thoroughly impressed with it. I would say it holds up pretty well.
Did you feel that it was too short? Because like whenever I think of Dante's Inferno, I always thought that it was like a big AAA game. I never knew that it was that quick of an experience.
No, it's the story is very quick. There is extra stuff you could do after the fact, but if you're
Mhm.
just looking for the story experience, 4.5 hours is right there.
Okay.
It does end on a to be continued, and as I say in the video, EA doesn't like good games, and they killed Visceral. Rest in peace. So
Oh
we're never
no.
getting that.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was a fun 4.5 hours. I specifically played it because it was that short. I'm doing this thing now where if I want to, like, because I want to like finish games before, like, oh, okay, I have this many weeks before a game I actually care about is coming
I
out. Like,
do the same thing. I know
what
what you're
can I
talking about.
complete?
Yeah.
What can I complete in that time frame? I'll go to I'll look at a game and be like, how long is this? So I
Yeah.
like looked up how long to beat. And I was like, I can knock that out. Same with
Yeah.
Puppeteer. Like I can knock that out because the only game I'm really looking forward to is at the end of the month. Two of them last week. So I'm like, I have some weeks to knock out a
Oh,
few
there's a
smaller
bunch of
games.
games coming out this month, Kev.
Well, we could talk. I mean, if you wanted to talk about that, I'm not sure what Court says Bright Memory Infinite is perfect for you, Kev.
That
I
sounds
is it
like a JRPG that you would
No,
grind
it's
for
not
60
JRP.
hours.
It's a first
No.
person shooter.
Oh,
It's a
really?
first yeah. You don't it was shown off in the showcase forever ago. It's like I think it has
Oh,
like
I do know what you're talking
120. It's
about.
very
Yep.
shiny, like awesome looking combat, fast,
Mhm.
fluid looking. I think Court played it over. I think he has a review over on Carpool Gaming. I'll have to go look. I'll have to go watch that and see if it is for me for
Mhm.
sure. But yeah, no, I like to knock out those smaller experiences. How I've played 1.5 hours to finish, he says.
Wow. Isn't
How
it like
much
$30?
how much are they charge Yeah, how much are they charging
I
for that?
think it's
Jeez.
either 20 or 30. I can't remember. I want to say 30 though. And it
That's
looks good. Like it doesn't look like an
no,
idiot.
yeah,
Like
it does look good. It's always looked good, but like even the demo, which I think was called Bright Memory, was like 20 minutes long. So I
yeah.
expected the game to be at least a few hours long. That's a bit much. One and a
Yeah.
half hours. That's crazy. But yeah,
But
that is how I finish games. That's how I'm up to
yeah.
62 games this year.
Do you want to talk about games coming out in August? Because this is the first podcast of August. You know, we might
Let's
as well
do
make a
it.
habit of doing this. Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah, it was something you wanted to do. Highlight some games that we're looking forward to this month. I don't know if you have the game release calendar up.
Oh yeah, I got the game release calendar. So if you want to
Cool.
start,
I mean, the only games I'm looking forward to are both at the end of the month, the 23rd and the 26th, with Midnight Fight Express
hmm
and Soul Hackers 2. Those are the only games I'm looking for two,
okay,
because the one is like a beat 'em up. I heard people saying it's gonna be Xbox's Sifu. It's like
yeah,
it looks kind of like Hotline Miami-ish.
Hotline Miami more,
Yeah.
yeah,
Looks very cool. And then Soul Hackers 2 Atlas JRPG. I'm going to support that, buy that on an Xbox,
yeah,
because I want them to know, like, hey, there's a market over here. Previews came out today for it. I've heard some people saying, it has some Persona-esque vibes, like budget Persona, which
hmm
exactly what I'm looking for. If that's
it's
if
perfectly
that's what it
fine
is,
for you.
that sounds great. I'm all about it. Atlas hasn't let me down yet.
Yeah. I'm excited about both those games too. But so I guess I'll say the other two games that I'm excited for. The first one, August 11th, Cult of the Lamb. That's going to be coming out. That is, it looks like a roguelike, so not something you would probably be super interested in, but it has this cult building mechanic and stuff like that. We saw an achievement list come out from True Achievements. You can get different fleeces to change out for your sheep. That's like this cult leader. You can sacrifice your own like cult followers and stuff like that. It just looks like a cutesy roguelike cult game. It just looks like fun. It looks novel. It looks unique. I'm excited to jump into it. And then Saints Row. I mean, Saints Row is a series that I loved back in the day. I remember playing Saints Row 1, 2, and 3 as a kid. Yeah, my mom wouldn't let me get Dante's Inferno, but I could play Saints Row. I don't know how that works, but Saints Row I always loved. I thought they went way too over the top with Saints Row 4. It didn't feel like a Saints Row anymore, really. It just felt like this weird, it was just a strange game. And it didn't have that original, down to earth feel that 1, 2, and 3 had. Not that 1, 2, and 3 weren't crazy in their own right, but there was still a good like story arcs and plots and stuff like that. And you actually felt you were part of this world. So to see, it looks like they're trying to return to form of the original trilogy of Saints Row here. They're trying to tone it back a little bit. Obviously, there's still going to be the craziness of Saints Row that differentiates it from Grand Theft Auto. Because at the end of the day, this was a Grand Theft Auto clone back in the day, but they made their mark by being so over the top, by just being absolutely crazy. So from what I've seen of this, it looks okay. It's nothing that's going to blow me away, I don't think. But I am looking forward to trying it out and just seeing what happens. I hope it hits for me. I really do. But I'm not going in with a crazy amount of expectations.
First of all, I've never played Saints Row. They looked very like GTA clones, so it's kind of, I don't like GTA, so why would I like Saints Row?
That makes sense.
I assume you see me giggling over here because our good
so
buddy
bad.
Corbin in the chat says moms do like dildos, hence Saints Row is okay.
I was gonna say, like, as one of the examples of Saints Row being crazy, the giant purple dildo, but I didn't know if you would be mad at me for saying that on stream. But you just said it, so I can say it now.
I don't know if that's I don't think that's a banned word here.
No,
it's just,
okay.
it's a thing.
It's a tool. It's a tool.
It's a tool.
It's a weapon now. Apparently,
if you play Cyberpunk, it is.
If you play Cyberpunk, it is, and Saints Row,
pockets are lined with them.
That weapon is nasty in Cyberpunk too. It actually does a lot of damage. Go out and get that, folks.
Oh man. Yeah, listen, I know a lot of people are pumped for Call of the Lamb, right? I'm personally, again, it looks adorable. If it wasn't a roguelite, I would be all on it. Like that is the only thing keeping me from diving into this game. And maybe if you come back and be like, the roguelite elements aren't that heavy, maybe it's something I do give a shot.
I'll definitely make a report on it. And then I also want to shout out Destroy All Humans to Reprobed.
Oh my lord. Yeah.
If you guys have never played Destroy All Humans, for one, go play the first one. And then the second one is getting a remaster this month. Destroy All Humans is one of the games I grew up playing, and it was so much fun. You're just this alien that causes chaos. You go around, you fight the government. In 2, you fight a bunch of ninjas and stuff like that in Japan. It's so fun. Go out and play Destroy All Humans and Destroy All Humans.
Destroy All Humans was awesome back in the day.
So
my brother used to love that. He tried playing the remake, and I think he told me that like maybe it doesn't hold up as well as he like remembered.
I played 1, I think, and I was like,
yeah. You know what I felt? I didn't include it in what I was playing because I literally played it for like 10 minutes. Was Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, and I know. Listen, maybe it was I just need to get into a different mindset and give it another shot at some point. But like I tried it and I was like, I'm not really feeling this like the way I was.
We're not 10 anymore playing on our GameCubes or anything like that. Things are very different. So I definitely get that.
Yeah.
I feel like I could mindlessly game back then. Now I need a little more substance.
Yeah, I will give it another shot at some point, but like maybe I'm just not in the right mood for it, because I was like, I know this game is phenomenal. Like it's got so many plaudits, it did so well. I don't want to support Vicarious Visions, but like I was like, I'm off this right now. I'm gonna not to play. Aman says Spider-Man PS4 is coming to PC this month. Ethan, you better play it.
This month's too busy.
To that I say, don't play it. Wait till you get a PS5.
That's what I want to do,
and
honestly.
Then play it on your PS5.
Yeah, I plan on getting a PS5 sometime within the next year, and I want a decent backlog to go on to. I don't want to play this rat race that I do with Xbox and try and play the newest thing. I'm looking forward to getting that PS5 and just being like, all right, I got 10 years of content to consume. Where do I go? So I'm super excited for that.
It's on the extra tier of PS Plus. So if you get their little Game Pass types of service, you're gonna have it. So
and I can play
and
straight
Miles Morales.
Perfect.
Yes, you will be sorted. Save you some money. and play a lot of good games.
I'm buying Ghost of Tsushima right away, Kevin. There's nothing
It's on
stopping
the
me.
service though. It's on the
Is it?
service.
Is that on the
Yeah.
service too?
Yeah, the
Oh
director's
man.
edition or whatever.
Yeah. All right, let's
You're
get it.
good, man. You're sorted. You don't need all right. I'm saving you money here. But that's all we've been playing this week. Let's transition over to our news because we have quite a. I wouldn't say we don't have a lot of news, but we have quite a big opening story. Because story number one, Sony has spoken out against the Activision-Blizzard deal. So Brazilian regulators looking into the Activision-Blizzard acquisition have posted the questions and answers from other third parties about the acquisition, and some of the answers are quite interesting. Third-party companies that don't seem particularly concerned over the acquisition are Warner Brothers, Ubisoft, Bandai Namco, Apple, Riot, Amazon, Google. However, Sony paints a different picture over the acquisition. This is all summarized, a lot of reset era. I know there's news articles, but I went and looked and I'm just summarizing everything. So I'm not taking this from everyone. But Sony believes all games compete for engagement of the player, and players choose their gaming platform based on pricing, technical features, and available game types, with the available content being the main factor. They say that there are few barriers to entry in game development, but creating high-end AAA games like Call of Duty requires hundreds of millions of dollars and thousands of employees. They say that there are a few developers and publishers capable of producing such games, naming EA with FIFA, Grand Theft Auto, Fortnite among those that can, but they also believe that none of these developers could create a franchise to rival Call of Duty, and that Call of Duty actually stands its own category in gaming. They say Call of Duty is so popular that it would actually influence users' choice of console. And if someone tried to develop a competitor, COD fans are too loyal and it would fail. They're also concerned as COD represents an important revenue stream for PlayStation and is one of SIE's biggest sources of third party revenue. So, Ethan, I'm going to stop there. There's a part two that I want to discuss, but how are you feeling about Sony's take on how important Call of Duty is for this acquisition?
I'm not surprised. Obviously, they're going to want to paint this as a negative thing. They don't want to see this happen, which that's okay. That's business. This is the business side of things. I get it. Them to say that none of these publishers are capable of producing games of the caliber of Call of Duty, I don't know if that holds water. I think they are capable of doing something like that. It's just they haven't done it. They haven't hit the mark. DICE dropped the ball. EA dropped the ball with Battlefield 2042. That could have taken a chunk if that was a good game, because that actually looked really cool. The previews looked amazing. They really fluffed that up to be good, but obviously it came out in a completely broken state. If we're expanding to other first-person shooters, 343 had a huge opportunity to break into this market and completely dominate the first-person shooter market. They dropped the ball, in my opinion. I'm sure we'll continue talking about that over the next few years and stuff like that. But when they do say COD is so popular, it would influence a user's choice of console, I agree with that. Call of Duty is an entrenched franchise in a lot of gamers' lives. If Xbox were to make it exclusive, which I don't think they're going to do anytime soon, I do think that would influence people to buy Xbox over PlayStation. Ultimately, though, I don't think it's as big of a deal as this is making it out to be. And I don't think Sony necessarily even believes this. It's just the business side. They have to do this. And then people are saying, oh, no, none of the other big tech giants in this report supported Sony's position. And at the end of the day, you have to realize none of those big tech giants necessarily are in direct hardware competition with Microsoft. Sony is the only one here that has something to lose in terms of the hardware market. So it makes sense. These big tech giants, these other big publishers, they don't necessarily care how many consoles are sold on each side. All they care about is if their games are bought for those consoles. So for that to happen, that also makes sense to me. And it seemed like a lot of them even said things like, we don't really have a comment on it. We don't really have that much of an opinion.
Apple didn't care. They barely even filled out the survey.
Didn't care. Yeah, and I don't think Amazon really cares either, or Google. They're kind of focused on I don't think Google's focused on anything anymore. I think they've kind of backed out of the market. Amazon's still pushing their Luna thing, which is just a cloud-based service. They're not really concerned with this whole console war thing going on. But at the end of the day, this is business, and this is happening with every regulator that they're applying to. It just so happens that the Brazilian regulators are more open about this process, and they release statements like this. So not the biggest deal in the world, and I don't think it's necessarily a I don't think it's like a shot across the bow at Microsoft at all. I think Microsoft fully expected something like this from Sony, which, business is business.
No, I'm 100% with you. I saw a lot of people online taking this, running with it, being like, "Sony's scared." Some all these
Sony is
nonsense
not scared. Let's
headlines,
no.
and I'm like, guys, what did you expect them to really say here? We're thrilled our main
We're so
competitor
happy.
is buying the biggest franchise now. We're
Yeah.
absolutely over the moon. Get this deal through as quick as possible. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't understand what people thought that they were going to say. Of course, they're going to be like, this isn't really that great because Call of Duty is the main third party that gets them millions upon millions of
Yeah.
dollars. PlayStation obviously being the biggest console in the world, like has the most player base. Call of Duty is the biggest game in the world. So most of them play on PlayStation. Of course, they're going to be concerned that when Call of Duty goes over to Xbox and then it's on Game Pass, that's going to be like, oh, well, I don't really need my PlayStation because there are people that only play Call of Duty. They're like, I'm going to go get an Xbox and Game Pass, save money every year. Yes, 100% this is designed to drive sales, right? It's designed to get people in Game Pass, designed to get people into the Xbox ecosystem, but it's not like they're taking away Call of Duty. We already know it's staying multi-platform. I know
Yeah.
some people are in denial. There's 0% chance Call of Duty is not on PlayStation going forward. It just is too big.
Yeah, and then you also have the aspect of Warzone, which I'm pretty sure that makes more money than any of the individual
Probably.
releases. And Warzone's never going to leave PlayStation. They're not going to pull that service. That just doesn't make sense to me. So you're still going to have Warzone on PlayStation, and as far as I know, you're going to have the individual arena shooters come out, for years and years going forward. So yeah, I don't think this is going to influence anybody in the short term here. I really do doubt Microsoft's going to make Call of. It's just so much money they could make for the studio to
They're not
keep it a
going to.
multi-plat. It just doesn't make sense.
They've basically already said as much. In fact, they were like, "We're interested in putting it on Nintendo Switch." Where I'm like, "Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that'll be
that'll
great.
work.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Let's do that." Because it really is. They're going to do anything they can to get this deal
Right.
through, and if that means conceding Call of Duty stays multi-platform for the future, I think they're okay with that because
Yeah.
it's ultimately just going to mean more money for them, but it also still gets their point. Like people are still going to look at Call of Duty and be like, I'm going to go over to Xbox for that specifically.
For the Game
I
Pass
think
value.
it's super interesting that PlayStation is really focused on Call of Duty and not any other property. Like
Yeah.
they don't call out Diablo here. They don't call out Crash Bandicoot, Spyro. Like they don't call out any other franchise.
That's going back to the point I made where I really do think, if Call of Duty was specific to one console, that absolutely would influence somebody to buy that console or the other. Crash Bandicoot, Diablo, great series. That's not going to influence somebody direct. Like somebody's not going to look at Crash and be like, oh, Crash is only on Xbox. I have to get an Xbox. Maybe a couple other people, but not to the level of Call of Duty. I mean, Call of Duty is on the same level of like a Madden or a FIFA, where it goes beyond the enthusiasts of gaming. I mean, this is a huge crowd of people that are playing this that don't play anything else. So yeah, I do agree with that statement there that they made that this would influence. But again, I don't think they're going to make this exclusive. It doesn't make sense for them to.
I think it's specifically just them putting this out there and be like, yes, we're not thrilled about it. And I think the headlines have kind of been blown out of proportion. The people like freaking out about this, like it actually
Oh, of
means
course
something.
it does.
Like
Yeah.
they have probably said this to the FTC, the European Union, like any regulator that is reviewing this deal, guarantee you they've expressed similar concern. And shout out to the thunder. I don't know if you guys can hear that. We're getting a storm here. We can go into the second part of this story though, because Sony also expressed this concern. Oh, huh?
I just glitched out there for a second. I started talking.
Oh, I said, Sony has also expressed concern over subscription services versus buying games for a one-time fee. They think the lowest upfront cost of subscription service could be anti-competitive in relation to publishers who
Mhm.
recoup the significant investments in games by selling them for an upfront fee, and that it could harm the quality of the games. They also state that in the last 5 years, Game Pass has grown to capture 60 to 70% of the global subscription service market, and it would take years of substantial investment to create a rival service. Again, saw this one being blown out of proportion, being
Yeah,
like, Sony's scared of Game Pass. Like, oh my God, can we stop fanboying for
they're not
5 minutes?
Sony's not scared. They're a
Yes.
company. They don't get scared.
They don't have emotions, all right?
No, it's just
They're
money
literally
making
a
machine.
name on a piece of paper,
Yeah.
LLC at the end, or Inc. or whatever you want to call it. What are your feelings about their statements about subscription services?
You know, I don't know why they're expressing concern over it when they themselves are trying to push into the subscription market. It doesn't really make sense to me. They're kind of going to, but again, it's business. I get it. You know, I don't know. This one is weirder to me than the Call of Duty
Hmm.
one. This one makes way less sense because, like I just said, they are pushing into that market, and I don't think it's anti-competitive either. And they're saying that it could lower the quality of games. I haven't seen that. Forza Horizon 5 dropped on Game
Hmm.
Pass. That was an
Highest
incredible
rated game
experience.
last year.
Highest rated game last year. And we're going to see a ton of bangers come out. We're going to see a Bethesda game come out on Game Pass. I doubt that's going to hurt the quality of a Bethesda title. Maybe I'm speaking too soon. Who knows? But, I don't think this is a Stray just came out on their subscription service. Everyone loved that. It didn't hurt the quality of that
Hmm.
game. And we're seeing a lot of indie titles get better quality because they have more revenue because they're signing up to this Game Pass service to be able to fund their projects. So I think if anything, it's increasing the quality of the game industry because it's getting games more exposure than ever.
Yeah, we've talked about this a few times where all the developers I've heard talk about Game Pass say it's only been a positive for their
Yeah.
studio. It's taken away the risk. It's allowed them to do what they want. That Xbox is, being great partners
Hmm.
with them. And I just, again, I don't know why they made these comments, but it is super weird because they're literally like, here's our new PlayStation Plus 3-tiered subscription service, but also like subscription service is bad. Okay.
I
Like,
will agree with their point that it's going to take years of significant investment to make a rival. I don't
but
think that they're not willing to put forward what is required to specifically match Game Pass, game to
mhm.
game. Like they're not willing to put their God of War Ragnaroks on it or their
Well, so
Horizon Forbidden
that's my
Wests on it and
I
stuff
was
like
gonna
that.
bring that up because they've repeatedly said that PS Plus isn't meant to be a rival to Game
Right.
Pass. And if this statement is just simply reiterating that like we're not going to make those investments to make our PS Plus services a rival to Game Pass, completely fine. That
Yeah.
we've known that for a while. You've said that multiple times. PS Plus can be its own subscription service. So far, I've really enjoyed my PlayStation Plus. The premium tier is probably not where it's at, but the extra tier looks like a very good value for your money. Like
Yeah.
we're telling you, you got Ghost of Tsushima, Spider-Man Miles Morales, Returnal. You have a lot of the big hitting games in the extra tier, which they're not day and date, but they are there right now, a year, 2 years after launch, which a lot of players that's still very appealing. It's appealing to me. It's as a new PlayStation owner for sure. So I don't personally see why they need to invest significantly. I don't think they
Right.
need to be like we need a
They have the
rival to Game
library.
Pass.
They have the games to
Oh,
to
they
make a good service. They don't need to invest for years and years,
if
honestly. I mean,
if they came out and said all of our first party games are going to be in PS Plus, I guarantee you subscriptions are going through the roof.
right. And but those games they spend way more money on making their first party
For
games than I
sure.
think Xbox does. So I don't know how that
Cool. And
translates. I'm sure their internal numbers show like we wouldn't make money on this if we released it on a sub
and
service,
and
but
Xbox has the backing of Microsoft, who we just know that what they made $16.8 billion last year. Like
a lot.
they don't care if they're losing money because they're still overall
Yeah.
ridiculous amounts of
Bill
money.
Gates will sign some blank checks. I know it's not him anymore, but
He's still doing it though.
he's still,
Just
he's still doing it
they
he's
keep
back
him
in his
they
garage.
keep him in the back room. All right, Bill, here you go.
Sign the check.
Acting like he's some old demented man. All right. Yep, nothing super surprising there. I did just want to comment on it. We
Yeah.
can move on to story number 2 though. And I do think this story is very interesting. And I haven't seen many people talking about it. And I'm not sure why, because Logitech and Tencent announced earlier this week they're going to be making a cloud streaming handheld device and that it would support Xbox cloud gaming. So, announced on Tuesday, Logitech and Tencent announced a partnership to bring cloud gaming handheld to market later this year. The new device will support multiple cloud gaming services, and both companies are working with Xbox Cloud Gaming and NVIDIA GeForce Now teams so gamers can play AAA games when they're away from their console or PC. I'm going to go first. This sounds great to me. Yeah, no,
Cloud
listen.
gaming. You?
I know what you said. I know what I'm saying. What I'm saying. All right. I'm saying what I'm
Happy
saying.
Cloud Gamer is going to have a blast with this podcast.
I'm not the biggest proponent of cloud gaming. I've
Mhm.
been playing the PS, as I said, Puppeteer, which is streaming, and I had some lag spikes earlier this week that were very frustrating, eating my jump inputs. So it's not perfect, but I do think that this handheld would be awesome, specifically because of the potential of having so many services in one handheld device. This is kind of like, because right now the Steam Deck, right, doesn't allow you to use Game Pass like natively or the streaming. Like you
Right.
have, there are workarounds for it. This device would probably be cheaper because it is cloud-based technology, so you don't
Mhm.
need as powerful of hardware to run it. If you get Xbox Cloud Gaming in there. You get the GeForce Now, maybe Amazon Luna, sign them up for this program. You could have multiple Google Stadia if they wanted to throw 3 to 4 cloud gaming programs on one handheld device. I just think that from a value proposition, that is fantastic. You would have access to so many. They need to nail the price point, but I think this has a lot of potential.
I'm a little bit lower on this than you. I actually try a lot of cloud gaming, and honestly, I do. I play a lot of games on Game Pass on cloud first, just to see if I like them, so I don't have to download them all the way before I do that. And cloud to me is just the inferior way to play a game. Even with fiber optic gigabyte a second internet, I'm still getting pixels all over my screen. I'm still getting blurry vision. Games aren't as beautiful. Things aren't as responsive. Remote play features too. That's not responsive enough to play a multitude of games. You can't play a first person shooter, on a cloud service or on a remote play service at all right now with the way things are. So this to me is a luxury item. I don't think many
Mhm.
people are going to get this, and it's not something for me because I even with all those services together, yes, it sounds like a great value, but I mean, I already have problems on my 55-inch TV in my living room with cloud gaming. I can't imagine seeing a small screen and have those
Mhm.
same issues. And then it's like, what's the point here of playing these games like this? It's just kind of devaluating that experience from the game. But for people that enjoy cloud games and they want something that just has everything in it, good for them. I hope this is exciting. I hope they enjoy it. But I think if you just have a lot of money to spend on a luxury item like this, a handheld that's specifically for gaming outside of like a Nintendo, obviously, but for all these services, I say just go for the Steam Deck. I mean, most games are on PC anyways. You can link it to your Steam account. You can get the other services on there. I think you got to do some jerry rigging or something. I haven't
Mhm.
really
Yeah,
looked
you
too
do.
far into it, but there's a way to do it, and you basically have a handheld PC right there. So if you're going to drop a lot of money on a handheld luxury item for gaming, why not just go Steam Deck? That's just the way I take it.
So for me, first of all, I'm not a handheld gamer. So like this would have to
Yeah,
be $100, $200 maximum,
right.
which if it's anything above that, I'm out automatically. Like I'm gonna go get the Steam Deck. Like if I'm spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars, I'm going Steam Deck because it is
Right.
that premium experience.
Yeah.
If I'm looking for a cheap cloud, like just something to play games like easily accessible, and this comes in at that $100 to $200 price point, it might be worth picking up because I do think there are games like, take my brother for example. PC garbage. It's got like a 760 graphics card. It struggles to run most games.
Yeah.
If you're saying, "Oh, you can play your PC games through NVIDIA like probably a better experience on the handheld, to be honest. It won't have to ship out the money for the Steam Deck. Shout out to the Thunder. Listen, I think it has a lot to prove. I just think the potential is there for something really cool.
And I think this product really is good for people that, let's say, travel a lot for work. I know we just had Sean Capri on the last time he was on the podcast with us here on Project XTalk. He was actually in a hotel room, I think in Toronto or something like that, on a business trip, and he was using cloud gaming. It didn't work that well because he was using hotel Wi-Fi. But something like this that might use data or something like that you can cloud game anywhere, maybe even on the airplane and stuff like that, would be interesting.
Ooh, if they put
does it use data? Do you know?
As far as I know, I thought it would be Wi-Fi. If it uses, I don't think they've released any like specifications.
Yeah.
If it used data, that's a whole different world right there. That's crazy.
And I do also want to say this could have a good application. Actually, I worked as a low voltage electrician for a while. And so I would bring my phone to work and my Xbox controller. And I had like this backbone thing that I would hook up, and I would play cloud gaming or remote play on the controller. It was kind of a pain in the butt to do in the work truck and stuff like that. But for people that work a lot, like maybe Tom could use this sort of handheld device. It's just something you could probably fit in your pocket, fit in a glove box or something like that, whip it out, turn it on, and you're immediately playing games. You don't got to sync your controller through Bluetooth to your phone or something like that. So yeah, I think there are some practical applications for this. I think ultimately though, if you just have a big console at home, or if you have the money to blow, I say get a Steam Deck, stuff like that. But there are people out there I think this would truly benefit, especially at that low price point. It'd be awesome for some people.
If they come out above 200, I think this thing's dead in the water. I don't see this
purely
needs
luxury
to be,
item at that point.
Yeah, this needs to be, and at that point, Steam Deck, because I've heard nothing but positive things about the Steam Deck. I don't have handheld situation. Like if I'm playing games, I have time to sit down and play them at my LG OLED. Like there just isn't a moment where I feel like when I was younger, oh, we're going on a car ride, or like we're going here.
Oh, yeah.
This, like I'm gonna grab my Game Boy. Like it was great. Handheld gaming.
Now you're the one driving.
Yes, now I'm the one. 5.5 hours to New Jersey.
Beach,
yeah. I don't get to play games. I get to listen to podcasts, which is fine. But shout out to Logical Robot for stopping by over on Twitch. Good to see you. He's happy that PlayStation is bringing games to PC. So I think
they really should expand more into that market, because
Xbox
is making a big push, and their games are good on PC. I played God of War. It was a good port. They got good teams over there that can make good PC ports. So
for sure. My only concern about this handheld, Tencent's involved, and I've spoken at length about Tencent and the Chinese government and privacy and all that. It's unavoidable at this point. I know they're investing in literally everything,
trying to buy out Ubisoft.
Industry.
That news dropped recently.
Yeah, so that's something that, like, okay, you're just gonna have to get over it. I don't like it, but it is what it is.
As long as there's decent protections in place, I doubt the United States regulators would allow a product into the United States that would have ties and have privacy issues going into China. I hope that's not the case, that they just let things slip through the cracks like that, which they've been known to do sometimes. But we'll see.
Logical Robot actually said Tencent are showing interest in Ubisoft. Personally, I say buy them. Then I can
whatever saves Ubisoft. Bring my
then I can
back.
hate one company.
Come on, Kevin.
All together. All right.
Yeah,
I already
Ubisoft,
don't like
needs saving, and I don't know if Tencent is the one to do it. But hopefully it's positive. I just hope for nothing but positive things.
We can move on to story number 3. Remember, guys, if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel or follow us if you're over on Twitch. We appreciate everything. We're growing, approaching 500 subs on YouTube. And actually, Ethan, I saw we're about halfway to 1,000 and about halfway to the watch hour goals we need. So if we keep on our current trajectory, we're gonna hit both at like the same time, and then be able to
do like community posts and stuff like that on YouTube. It'll be fun.
Memberships, all that stuff, right at the same time. So we're making a good progress here, but we need your guys' help. Really do appreciate everything you're doing. So. We can move on to story number 3, which is Game Pass Family Plan is imminent. So this actually broke right before the show, kind of. So starting today, Xbox insiders in Colombia and Ireland, because I don't know why, but they can begin testing the Xbox Game Pass Family Plan. As reported on Xbox Wire, the plan will allow you to add 4 additional users to your plan, and every account receives the benefits of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. Joining the program for insiders will convert their current subscription to this new tier, so a full month of Ultimate will convert to about 18 days of the new tier, which puts the price, after you do the math, at around $25 a month or $300 a year. Ethan, I sent this to you. You sent me a little gift that didn't really seem like you were overly thrilled about it, so I want to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, for me, this isn't anything that I want. I don't really have any friends in my personal life that play a lot of Xbox, and I don't have any family members that play Xbox. And honestly, the price or the money that you're going to be saving if you hook up with a bunch of buddies to have a service together, I don't know if that price knockdown is worth having to coordinate, people Venmoing money to you and, always having to keep up. And what if somebody doesn't pay that month or something? You got to bite the bullet. I just don't know. It's $15 a month for Ultimate right now for me. That it doesn't break the bank. If you want to save the extra, I don't know. I can't do quick math like that. $5 or $10 like that. If you hook up with 3 other buddies to all chip in, I think it would be $6.30 or $6.50 for everybody if you had 4 people chipping in for $25 a month. Did I do that math right?
I did.
You got a master's degree, Kevin. Listen, I need you to tell me
if we're looking yearly, okay, it's $60 a year. Roughly, if you can have 5 I think you can have 5 people from what it says.
5?
It says you, and then you invite
and
4 others,
additional
I think,
users,
which is what I believe. So unless they worded that very poorly and it is 4 max, because then the price would go up by $60 for across those 4 people. So another I don't know,
but yeah,
almost $20. So
what this really does work for is who it's made for, and that's families, people who have multiple accounts and stuff like that. If you have a wife, you have 2 kids or something, you all have your own Microsoft account, you all want to track your own achievements, your own games and stuff like that. This is awesome for people like that. I don't know how many people out there are like that, where they have whole families gaming, but it's good to have this in the pocket in case you ever want to use it.
This sounds, I can't personally, I think this is a great deal. I was talking to my brother, who he actually pays for the Game Pass Ultimate subscription. I cover the PS Plus subscription, and we game share on both of those. So we have a little system going on. So he covers Game Pass Ultimate, but the way I'm looking at it is, if you can add more people and you all get the benefits of Ultimate, because right now through game sharing, I can play on my Xbox for the Game Pass. I can't do PC. I can't do cloud because I don't get those benefits to my account. You only get them on the Xbox. So if this gives everyone those benefits, it would be cool to have it automatically on my PC, automatically have the cloud. He did bring up the annoyance that you brought up of, having got to find the people, which we probably could find the people.
Yeah, you could find the people. It's just the matter of having to coordinate.
Yes, the coordinating payments. And I brought up, well, why can't you just do a yearly subscription? Why can't you just buy yearly and then have them do a one lump payment?
Not everybody can drop that kind of money right away, though.
Well, he told me Xbox doesn't let you buy Game Pass yearly. Is that true?
I don't know. I've never tried. I set it up to auto pay every month, and I haven't looked at it since.
I'm according to him, you get monthly or quarterly. Apparently you can't buy Xbox Game Pass yearly.
Seems strange if that's true.
Makes no sense if that is the case at Xbox. You need to fix that, because if you can do yearly payments, I think that makes it a lot easier, because then once a year you just have your entire group send the money, you're all set. That sounds way more appealing than every month. Even every quarter is kind of annoying. You have to remember, oh, you got to send me your whatever $30 for this quarter. I am excited. I think there's a lot of potential here. I do think they need to clarify whether it's 4 or 5 members, because that changes the price per person. But the fact that it is Game Pass Ultimate shared across every user in the plan, that is great, because they could have gone, everyone gets Game Pass. They don't get the Ultimate. So you'd have to buy the Xbox Live. You'd have to buy PC Game Pass. They could have done that. And the fact that they didn't shows yo, we're willing to lose some money on this
Yeah,
because
5 ultimate memberships for 25 a month.
mhm,
That's kind of crazy
losing
how much money.
tons.
Overall, that's for the individual user, it's not like a crazy amount you're saving. I guess $10 a month. That adds up $120 a year, but
Mhm.
overall I think Xbox is taking a hit here. I would not be surprised if in the future we see a price hike overall of Game Pass, period. I feel like we're going to see a $20 a month, fee eventually for Ultimate. That's just my gauge on the temperature here.
I've heard people say that, and I don't think it'll be a $5 increase. Maybe eventually we get there. I think they're going to take the Netflix route, which is
Mm,
slowly increase it. Like, okay, this year it'll go up $1, and then like 2 years it'll go up another dollar. Like slowly increase it. Because I think if you just automatically, be like, hey, we're gonna bump up your sub $5, I think you're gonna lose
yeah.
some people.
Because there has to be a point where you're sitting in the boardroom at Microsoft and you're saying, look how many subscribers we have. If we just increase the dollar amount by a couple dollars, this is how much more money we could be making off all these subscriptions. There's going to be a point where somebody brings that up. And, as a business, it's hard not to take that step and be like, they will be more than willing to eat $2 extra a month. It's not much for the individual, but for the company, man, that's going to be a big windfall coming in. So it's going to
Mhm.
happen eventually, I feel like.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you get an email, it's like, oh, you're going up $2. It's like, okay, great. Like, it's $2. I'm
Whatever.
not even gonna notice
But
that.
then Microsoft's like, we're
But
getting a couple
Microsoft's like,
extra billion here.
yeah, Microsoft's like, yo, we're getting billions.
Yeah.
They're throwing parties. Like everything's great over there. So for
Yeah.
sure, I do think a price increase will come at a certain point. I've heard it's when they hit 50 million is like when they would start considering raising the price. Last I we're around 30, right? I think the last report was 25. So
Mm.
if they're around 30, I think we still got a ways to go. This family plan ain't gonna help them get there though, unless they're gonna
No.
count every single member as a Game Pass out, but then they'll be like, "We did it!"
And if
Like,
they're gonna make that goal, it's gonna be next year. Because if all the games that actually are supposed to come out next year are coming out, where I think we're gonna see a lot of people buy into Game Pass, with Starfield and all these other games coming out. I think this year we were kind of in a drought, a lot of delays and stuff like that, especially with first party titles, so if they're gonna make that goal, it's gonna come next year.
I think next year is really the do or die year for not die, but like it's time to put up or shut up, right? Like
Right.
next year you have so many high profile Xbox first party games coming out. If Game Pass doesn't explode next year, when will it? Because
Right.
I don't know if we're going to get a more stacked year
Yeah.
than what is
Starfield
possibly
is really
coming
gonna be
next
the
year.
test. I mean, I don't know how you're a gamer and you don't buy into Game Pass when Starfield hits the service. I mean, come on.
Starfield, Redfall, the new Forza game.
Yeah.
There's the
There's something for
Stalker.
everybody
Like
next
there's
year
third
as long
party
as the
games
dates
coming
hold
out
up.
too.
Yeah.
Like there's just so many quality games coming out next year. Well, games we hope are going to be quality.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
launching directly into the service. So if they come out and flop and Game Pass is like, okay, I'm glad I didn't pay for that, then Jesus, a storm. But I do think that it is the year where they really need to prove that the
Yep.
service is going to be what they want. Like, hey, when you put out the quality games, we see the benefits.
Exactly.
So we can wrap up here by speaking about the latest Game Pass additions.
Mm.
As we do twice a month here on Project XTalk, we let you know what games are coming to Xbox Game Pass so you can plan your gaming accordingly. Available right now, Thunder. No, Ghost Recon Wildlands for cloud console PC, Shenzhen IO for PC, Turbo Golf Racing for cloud PC, and Xbox Series X and S. That is a next gen exclusive title. August 9th, we get 2 Point Campus for cloud console PC. August 11th, we get Cooking Simulator for cloud console PC, Expeditions Rome for PC, and Off World Trading Company for PC. Ethan, are any of these piquing your interest?
I think this is the first time we've ever done a Game Pass update where I have absolutely nothing to say about these games. I will say something in that I guess Ghost Recon's Wildlands is probably a big pickup. I mean, it's a big Ghost Recon game. It's a Ubisoft title. I mean, good pickup for them. Shows Ubisoft is still putting a lot of stuff out on the service. Hopefully, we get Skull and Bones because I don't want to buy that game. And then Turbo what is it? Turbo Gold Racing or
It's
Turbo
it's
Golf
too
Racing?
golf. I put gold in the document.
Oh,
That's
okay.
my bad.
But Turbo Golf Racing, it kind of looks like Rocket League a little bit, but with golf, I'm sure
Yep.
that'll interest a lot of people. Maybe build a bit of a community on there. If Oh wow, you're getting some good thunder.
Some big one.
I love it. But yeah, I mean, if you're gonna play, I'll download it and try it out with you guys. I'm absolutely down.
Nope. For
But
sure.
yeah,
I think it's like 4 GB. I already pre-installed it.
oh sweet. But yeah, everything else, okay, cool. Nothing for me really.
Yeah, I already own Ghost Recon's Wildlands.
Oh, do
Actually,
you?
surprising. I know
Really?
it's a Ubisoft game.
I was gonna say.
I got it. I think on sale a few years ago. It was actually a little fun to like the actual gameplay is not very good, but if you're going in and like hanging out with your friends and just goofing off, like, oh, let's get a helicopter and like I'll shoot like bases.
That's what I
Like,
saw. Yeah,
yeah,
because
yeah.
when I saw it come to Game Pass, it's already on there. I looked it up and I read about it, and they're like, you can solo it, but there's no just play with
Mhm.
other people. And I'm like, I don't like doing that with games like this, so no, it's not for
It
me.
actually has one of the like things I get made fun of by my friend group for. So one of the missions was like get to this point like 7 kilometers away within like 48 seconds or whatever.
Yeah,
And the rest of my squad had like a Jeep and they were like, all right, hop in. We're like, they're flying toward like going at it. And I was like, no, I could run that far. So I take off sprinting. I didn't even come close. So now they constantly just go, Kevin could run that far. Like they just make fun of me
I love it.
constantly. I was
Running
like,
joke
yeah,
on Kevin. That's what
yeah,
we need more of those.
running, yeah, one of my running jokes. So I already own that. If you want to goof around for a little bit, I think I'm gonna play Turbo Golf Racing. I think that could be a lot
Okay.
of fun with friends. That'll be a good time. So if you want to download that, maybe you can hop into my little party here with some
Yeah,
homies and we can all play. That'd be dope.
give it a shot.
2 Point Campus. I know people are excited for this game. I don't know why.
I remember 2 Point Hospital being pretty
Mm-hmm.
popular. It really is, from what the looks of it, kind of like just a Sim City-esque of a campus. You know, I've been known to play those games in the past. I love Sim City. I have played wow, I completely forgot the title of the other. Roller Coaster Tycoon. That's
Yeah.
the one. I've played games like that in that sense, but I don't know. There's something about the art style of this and everything that just kind of turns me off. I can't tell you why. It just doesn't look that appealing to me, so I probably won't pick it up. But if I see good reviews about it, I might give it a shot.
I don't know why I had the Whatcha playing banner scrolling because it should have been this one, but that's my bad. All right,
Awful host.
I'm a professional here. Cooking Simulator, just another simulator game coming to Game Pass.
That
I'm
game's
sure.
not fun. I've played it
No?
before. It's not
Okay.
good at all. I was expecting like actually being able to like manage a restaurant, orders coming in, and it's I don't know. It's not really like that. It's more like it feels like a big tutorial of different recipes. And you're like, all right, I'm kind of
People
bored.
were loving Power Wash Simulator.
Power Wash Simulator, that's great. You got to go play Power Wash Simulator, Kevin.
And the other ones, I don't have any interest in. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna play some Rocket League Golf, and hopefully that'll be a good time. My only thing is it's game preview, so I don't think it has achievements.
Right, I did see that.
Grounded added achievements in game preview, so it is possible. I have to.
Oh
I
yeah,
haven't
I have
loaded it up.
grounded achievements. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's
take a look.
possible. We'll have to take a look. But before we wrap up, Ethan, we have one listener question. If you
We do? Oh.
we do. If you want to write into the show, you can do it in our Discord. You can tweet us at Save Game Media on Twitter. We will read your question live on the show and answer it. So this comes from our patron, Hopple. You can also submit questions over on patreon.com. He says, what do you define as, quote, finished the game? For me, it's completing the main story, not all achievements or side stories. Example, Yakuza 0 is finished for me, but I only have 21 out of 55 achievements and 17.4% of everything according to the in-game stats. So, Ethan, when do you consider a game to be finished?
So I think the literal definition for me would be complete the main campaign. I think that's do what the developers wanted you to do in the game, experience the game how they wanted you to experience, get the main storyline done. For me personally, when I play a game, I have a very kind of methodical way of going about having to play a game. if I enjoy the game enough to actually finish the main mission, I need to at least get 80% of the gamer score value. So I will get as many achievements as I can. Oftentimes I will try and get 100% because I'm already there. But there are achievements here and there that I don't want to get, like, play through the whole game on nightmare mode or something like that, where it's like I just don't have the energy or the time to do something like that. So I will make sure to get at least above 800 out of 1,000 gamer score to make it 80%. I don't know why I chose that number. It's just a good grade on a report card, I think, from back in the day. So, above 80% for me is a finished game. I prefer 100% though, and I will go to 100% as much as I can for games that I enjoy. There are games that I play and I don't necessarily enjoy it, and I will drop them, but usually I only end it. You'll see like 50 games on my thing with just 1 or 2 or 3 achievements. Those are games that I just drop off, and then every game that I like, not 80% or above or 100% achievements. So stuff like that.
Yeah. For me, it's definitely the same. If I finish the main story, I have beat the game. I've finished the game. Anything else is just me loving it. So if I get the 100%, if I go for the platinum, it's because I love the game that much and want to do it, or the list is really easy. And I'm like, okay, this won't take me that much long. Yeah, might as well just knock it out. Yeah. But if you finish the main story, you have beat the game. You have finished the game. Like, there's no need to do 100%. You have got the entire experience right there, I think, because the story for me is what the game is all about. Like, that is the main driving point of the game.
I will say though, for me personally though, I don't feel I finished a game until I've gotten, most of the content done. That's just my personal way of going about games. Like, I will do as many side missions, side ops. Like, I've done Skyrim 100% runs before where I have to do every single, side quests and stuff like that. Mass Effect, I've played through all 3 games probably 5 different times where I've done 100% of every single thing that happens in that game.
I've done that too.
I guess it just goes game by game for me, how I feel about completing, because every game plays differently. Every game has different mechanics and stuff like that. Like BioShock, this is going to take me a while until I actually believe that I'm finished with this game because there's so much in it.
I always do everything in Mass Effect too. I do all the DLCs. I scan all the planets.
It also helps that it helps you in Mass Effect 3. Like, there's a reason why you want to do 100% of the things in Mass Effect, because it will come back to help you. Thank you, BioWare, for making incredible games.
It's Kyle in the chat says, I 100% Breath of the Wild, but Nintendo refuses to have a system to acknowledge
I wish they had
such
something, anything. I get that they don't want achievements or trophies and stuff like that. I know I've seen statements like that. They don't want people to play games for that reason. They want them just to enjoy the games, but give me like a background or a banner or something to put on my profile that tells people, wow, he 100% of Breath of the Wild. I would love something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Their in-game achievements are what they do. Like, their little Kirby, like, it's so
like
annoying.
In Pokemon Arceus, you had the Pokédex and you had to do 100 different things. Yeah, they give you something, but you can't show it off. You can't show it off to people.
That's literally why I stopped 100% in Kirby, the Forgotten Land, because I was like, what am I doing this for? No one will know.
Cares.
If I stop right now, there's nothing to prove that
personal pride.
I can literally be like, I got the 100%. Nobody can prove otherwise. Like, there's no indication I didn't do it.
That's often what I do with new people that I meet on Xbox or something, is I'll go to their achievement list and be like, all right, what are they playing? How do they play this game? Like, stuff like that. So I love seeing stuff like that on other people's profiles, not just my own.
I only do that in our little gamer score competitions here, because I'm like, how did he get 2K already? Like,
I will say, like, there's somebody on my friends list that is one of Garrett's friends that added me, and I think he's tired of me beating him because he put up 4,000 gamer score already this month. I don't know if, and he played Town Scraper too. So that's why I think he's hunting for achievements, because nobody just plays Town Scraper for fun. Okay.
Yeah, I only played it because you played it.
And he also played a Memoir Blue, which is another like 30-minute, 1,000 gamer score. So something interesting is brewing in the competition. We're gonna have a fight this month, Kevin.
All right. Well, that is all we got for this week. I hope everyone enjoyed the show. If you did, like I said, please make sure to like, follow, share, subscribe the podcast. If you want to win a copy of God of War Ragnarok, go over to our Twitter. If you're subscribed to the YouTube, tweet it at us. If you leave No Limits, a PlayStation podcast, our sister PlayStation show, as part of Save the Game Media, a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple, you tweet it at us, you'll get entered, or you can put it in our Discord. Anyway, just get it to us, show us that you did it. You will definitely be entered for a chance to win God of War Ragnarok. Last way to enter, become a patron. Any patron, any tier, double. You get two chances. All right.
Yep.
That goes twice as far. So I just gave you literally 4 chances we will pay for your copy of God of War Ragnarok. So
Day
go over,
one, you will
do
have
all
it
those
for free.
things. You'll have it before day 1. All right. October, I will give you the money. Be like, there you go. There's your money. Go buy God of War. So if that interests you, do all those things. You can come to our Discord, and if you have any questions, my light just flickered, so that's
we gotta hurry up. We gotta hurry up.
it up. Ethan, where can people find you?
They can find me at White Cedar 1 on Twitter and Gravy3448 on Xbox.
You can find me at the Muffin Mon. It's a 1-7I, 0-7A. Follow us at Save Game Media. Again, head over there. Right, Ragnarok giveaway. The lights are going out. Everything's going dark. Goodbye.
Peace.